Many of you are on your path to financial success, and I'm here to support you. A list of the things that broke people do to ensure their failure was what I came up with. All of them should be taken with a grain of salt, but remember that they are here to help you think about your financial position and what you can do to improve it. When it comes to day-to-day distinctions between the wealthy and the broke, I've read a few books, such as Rich Dad, Poor Dad and The Millionaire Next Door, that discuss the habits of the wealthy. There are, of course, exceptions to these principles, just like there are to any rule. Being conscious of these habits and actions may provide you with a bit of an advantage in the face of adversity. And who knows? If you quit doing them, you may be closer to achieving your dreams. I've compiled a list of 10 items that are typical of the broke. Wealthy individuals get up earlier, whereas broke folks get up later. In the beginning, less affluent individuals tend to be lazier than richer ones. It is far less likely that a person who spent their youth developing themselves will end up destitute later in life. By not getting up early, failing to educate yourself, or wasting time on things that have no bearing on the rest of your life, you'll find yourself in a position where you'll be miserable. Contrary to popular belief, people who don't prioritize personal development in their formative years wind up working harder and experiencing far less success as they age. Broke people do not always shower or bathe. I initially assumed this was a made-up story, as many others do, but it turned out to be accurate. And, to my surprise, it explains a lot. When you think about it, most of today's occupations are in service sectors, where human touch is required to exchange value properly. Those who do not practice proper personal hygiene will eventually be less successful than their peers. People are less likely to trust them. Others will want to spend less time in their company. All of this has an impact on their personal life. What type of partners will you attract if others dislike you and don't want to be around you? Although it may appear absurd, the first step to success should be an early morning shower. The importance of good health is often overlooked by the broke, who sometimes have little desire to learn about the ingredients in their food, how to prepare a nutritious meal, or even the basics of nutrition. Fast food is a staple of the diets of the broke. Sugar and fat, which have little nutritional value, are being pumped into the brains of the underprivileged. They're intentionally destroying their bodies. Consequently, they are unable to reach their full potential. All parts of your life are immediately impacted if you're not healthy. Even if you're in a relationship, you'll suffer emotionally, physically, and even professionally. People in poverty blame someone else for their misfortunes. How many people do you know that have an explanation or blame other causes for their lack of success? However, there are certain situations beyond our control, but you are responsible for 99% of your life. Remember that you are the master of your own life. You have control over your connections. You have control over your health. Do something if you want things to change. Life is not defined by what happens to us. It is our reaction to what happens to us. When awful things happen, the impoverished tend to blame others. While the wealthy investigate and analyze it, they want to know what occurred, why it happened, and how they might avoid it in the future. In contrast, less fortunate people take on the role of helpless victims. The rich see it as a learning opportunity. Broke people have no money saved. One of the main contrasts between the affluent and the broke is that the former prepare for the future, while the latter do not. Growth is possible if you have savings. If something horrible has happened, let's assume the problem is fixed, and your life can go on as normal if you have money set aside. If you are unable to, what should you do? You either have to sell an item like your vehicle, house, or other property, or you may have to borrow money from the wealthy. Having lost the funds, you're back to square one when the drama has ended. For the broke, however, their standard of living has suffered a severe impact or is now in the hands of their creditors. Let us now examine the complete opposite. A chance presents itself. Others who have saved money can take advantage of this opportunity, while those without can only dream. As a result, the wealthy are becoming wealthier. In contrast, the broke are becoming more broke. Borrowing money for items that aren't needed is common among the broke. Credit is one of the most significant distinctions between the affluent and the impoverished. You should never utilize credit, no matter how much money you plan to put into a particular venture. Want to get a new television on credit? Do you need a loan for a new car? Want to buy a new smartphone with a credit card? Don't do it. Pay in cash or do without. Obtaining debt is a terrible idea. You can't afford anything if you don't have enough money to give up without disrupting your life. People in poverty tend to assume that others owe them favors in order for them to succeed. They owe nothing to you. Even if you believe it, you're wrong. You're on your own in this. You are in control of your own destiny. Everybody thinks they'll succeed as a kid, but reality sets in when they become older. We live in a world that only rewards those who never give up. Those who are persistent in their pursuit of knowledge, adaptability, and the realization that no one can fix their issues for them, will succeed. Because if you don't, you'll just be one of the majority of people who are destined for failure. And you never know who you'll run across along the road, who'll be on the same path as you, and be willing to share their experiences. Broke individuals do not follow through on their ideas or potential. Your parents, where you were born, and how society treats you, are out of your control. Ultimately, all you have control over is the number of hours spent actively working on your vision. There are only 24 hours in a day for everyone on the planet. Nevertheless, some go above and beyond. You'll be successful sooner, rather than later, if you put in the effort to study, and put into practice what you're excited about. Do you know how many businesses fail because they never get off the ground? All of them. The best way to receive feedback on your ideas is to put them out there and see what happens. Never give up on your dreams. Working smart and with consistency is a requirement to become rich. Wealthy individuals aren't the most devoted TV watchers, but the broke are. Here's how I'd phrase it: you're probably impoverished if you have the time to watch reality TV. Broke people spend so much time watching pointless television that it's always astonishing to see. It's one of those deterrents that just won't let go of your attention. Tuning into your favorite shows each week as they air, or having a go-to news station, all point to chronic overconsumption of television. Following the latest celebrity gossip is of no use to you in your daily life. It's solely for the rich and famous. You would argue that the wealthy prefer to be on television, rather than watch it. Still, broke individuals watch television with passion. As a result, they disconnect. This is why their life is the way it is. That creates a lot of problems. Instead of dealing with, and getting rid of troubles, you cut yourself off from them. Those in poverty tend to hang around with other people in poverty. To ensure they remain broke, people associate themselves, or spend time with those who share the same outlook on life. With the right people in your life, you'll be able to push yourself to new heights and achieve more than you ever thought possible. Step away from the crowd and look for a better opportunity. Be cautious if you're still hanging out with friends from your adolescence. If you don't, individuals who want to feel better about their unhappy lives will likely squash your potential by ensuring that you meet the same end as everyone else. Hopefully, you have found some value in this video, and it will help you along the way to financial success. Please share this video with your friends, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and hit the like button.